What's going on? Matt Frechette here, small business owner, and it's Monday, and I am doing my Mondays with Matt, and so I'm super excited to get into this week's topic. But I wanted to, before I change the background, talk to you about one of my goals, which is to live in a foreign country, but also to start a small business there as well. So this is a picture of Tijuana, and I'm about, I'd say about 45 minutes to an hour away from the town that I'm looking to move to. So, but wanted to take a picture of that first and show you this is the country that I'm shooting for. I want to live in a foreign country is one of the goals I wanted to do, as well as also start a small business from there. So Mexico is the first country that I've decided to start pursuing and getting certain things in place to make that happen. The goal is to launch this business in the next 3 to 5 years. One of the biggest challenges that I have is that I don't speak Spanish very well, and so I definitely have to incorporate that on my list. And there's a few other little things that I'll get into as time goes on and everything. But I wanted to first shout out that this is Tijuana, Mexico, and it's one of my goals. And I'm going to go ahead and get started and change the background, but that's what I wanted to tell you. Hold on one second. All right, so changed the logo here. So not sure if you guys are going to see this or not, but I Googled 8 steps to starting a small business. Well, basically I Googled how to start a small business, and I was just curious to see what information is out there. And this one is from The Balance. I'm not too familiar with what The Balance is, but I thought it had some really good steps on what to do. And so I'm going to read them, and they are as followed. 8 steps to starting a small business. Clarify how your business fits into a market niche. Write a compelling business plan. Form a legal business entity. Register your business. When it says that, I'm assuming, not reading the whole article yet, but that it's maybe a DBA, or depending on what state you're in, if you're going to be an LLC or S corp. That's what I'm assuming it is. Explore financial options. That's definitely going to make sure you have some funds. Hire employees potentially. Find suppliers, manufacturers, and vendors, and advertise your business. So honestly, it's a pretty sound plan, and it looks like while reading this, it gives you a few more explanations that, especially in writing a compelling business plan, form a legal entity. That doesn't have too much, but it goes over what a sole prop, a partnership, an LLC, register business. Yep, it's exactly what I thought it was. Secretary of State, getting an EIN number, opening a bank account, getting business insurance. Some really sound advice on loans, when to consider employees, setting up payroll, which is cool because I'm definitely in the payroll business. Find suppliers, interesting, cool, getting your website and all of that stuff. So I think they did a pretty good job. That's one of the reasons why I liked when I read a couple other ones. This one stuck out to me the most. In my humble opinion, I think these are great ways to start your business. I think there's a few other steps that you should get into, and especially for ones that are limited on funds and things like that, I highly recommend the first thing you do is invest in yourself. And why I say that is, if you don't invest in yourself, I don't think you'll be in a position to make some really good moves. And your business may be what a lot of business owners have, which is a job that that they pay. So and you can be decently successful, and some go on to bigger and better things. But I really think the key to before you start your business is this right here, and work harder on this than you do on your job. And that's what Jim Rohn says, that you have to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. And if you can do that, it's as simple as, in my opinion, 2 hours a day, reading good books, associating with people that have the things that you have, not because they have a Mercedes, but really things that you hold dear to yourself. So whether it's family values, or the way that they're giving back to their community or potentially the world, the type of business that they're in, how they live. There's so many different things you guys get into, but my first recommendation is right here. You should read at least 10 pages of a good book every day. Listen to audios, you know, minimum an hour is my recommendation. If you can have them being played in the background while you're going to your job, or your, any minute or two that you have where you could just be checking your phone on Facebook or whatever that happens to be, just put something on that will start to change your mindset, and then really get around people that have what you want. And I really believe that that is the case. Depending on what community you're in, go after individuals that are in your community that are like-minded. um, and there's numerous things, but that would be the first thing that I would recommend, is go ahead and find a good book. Try to find a coach, someone who has it. And again, these are small investments. There's individuals out there that would help you get a start if you just reached out to them and said, hey, I'd love to buy you a cup of coffee, or a soda or water, or can I take you to lunch? And again, you may not be able to afford that, so just reach out to them and say, hey, look, can I buy you a cup of coffee? And with the exception of Starbucks, you can get a good cup of coffee for, sometimes $1.50. So for less than $5, you could sit down and have a conversation with an individual that wants to give back to the people that are hungry. And that individual will know whether or not you're serious very quickly. They may say no 100 times, but be persistent, or look for someone else that would be open to giving you that opportunity. And again, reading good books like The Magic of Thinking Big. This has been my favorite book. As you guys can see, it's torn apart. It is beat up. It's one of the first books I ever read on personal development. And I'll tell you what, I continue to read this book and find out. I mean, there's notes in here from 2015. It's 2022 now. And I mean, it's falling apart. So there's questions in here that I asked myself. And so, I'm going through this book constantly. I mean, I underlined this under 6 ways to turn desire into gold. First, fixing in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. That's one of the steps. It's one of the things that I highly recommend. And even this book, let's see if I wrote down. Yeah, the first time, and I've read this book down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. The first time I picked up this book was October 9th, 2013. The last time I read it was June 28th, 2020. And so I'll tell you what, some golden nuggets in there that I continue to go back on. And why do I go back on it? Because I'm not the same Matt I was. And so if I can encourage you guys all to just start there. And again, quoting one of my mentors, Jim Rohn, and he says, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. And I'll leave you guys with this. And I love it. I love this story. And so it's been told so many different ways, but the way that I heard it was, one day an old man walked out onto the beach and was walking around and just, in his own head, frustrated and everything like that. And he sees in the distance a little shadow, As he gets closer, he notices it's a little boy, and he's seeing this little boy furiously and feverishly. I'm not sure which F you use on this one, but running around and picking up these starfish and throwing them into the water. And as he gets closer and closer, he sees that there's thousands of starfish out there, and this little boy, sweat running down, and he's super tired and he's gasping, but he continues to go and go and go. And you would think that this old man would maybe stop it and grab a couple starfish and throw it away, or maybe walk on by this boy and smile and be like, silly kid. But this dude was such a grumpy ass that he was like, I want to teach this kid a lesson. And so he goes up to the little boy and is like, what are you doing, little boy? And the little boy stopped and looked, and he's like, the tide washed in all of these starfish, and I'm trying to send them back to the ocean. And he's like, you're a stupid kid. He's like, there's thousands and thousands of starfish all over this beach. And look, the birds are grabbing some, and other kind of predators are grabbing some. And what makes you think you can make a difference? And the little boy looked at the old man, looked at the beach, looked at the old man, grabs the starfish, chucks it in the air, and says, I made a difference to that one. And that's what I would encourage you to do, is to make a difference in someone's life today. So until next time, remember, have fun, make a difference, and don't forget to make some money. Talk to you later.